creatures of the night, it's your favorite ghoul Tati. Let's talk about New Japan Final Homecoming, where it was the last match of our president, Mr. Tanahashi, in his hometown. Not the last match ever. We still have a couple of more months before we see Tanahashi in his retirement match. Against who? We don't know yet. However, for this show, I would say that majority of it are filler matches. If you're just there to watch sexy men in the ring, then you know you're gonna get your fix. Other than that, the last three matches are what's important, which is the finals of the Super Junior Tag League, and then we also had the IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship on the line, as well as the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship on the line. Let's talk about the results of the show and what's new moving forward. For our first match, we had Kazuya Morishima teaming up with Masatora Yoshida and Zane J to go against Oleg Boltin, Sho Mikado, and Tatsuya Matsumoto. I hope I got everybody's name right. It's a little difficult to pronounce, but this was a great opening match. This is literally Oleg Boltin in the ring with young lions, and I did not like that at all. And the reason why I'm saying this is because now look, this class of young lions we have here, I actually like pretty much everybody, and I'm really excited to see where their careers are going. But we are talking about Oleg Boltin, who literally just lost a title a few weeks ago in King of Pro Wrestling against Evil, and then all of a sudden he's down to doing the first match of the card with the Young Lions. And I kind of felt like this is a recurring issue where it seems like certain people, we don't really know where they placed in terms of the roster. Obviously, we have our top guys, we have our mid-carders, and then we got everybody else. And for whatever reason, he lost the title in an opening match with the Young Lions, and I thought that was a very strange way to go with Oleg Boltin. It was a really great match, but he ends up taking the win for the team anyway. And it was a little hard to get into because I was just like, well, what are we doing with him? I think he's super talented. He's definitely one of the fan favorites. And it kind of felt like a little bit of a demotion for me. After this, we had Daiki Nagai, Gedo, and Hiromu Takahashi going against TMDK, which is Hartley Jackson, Kosei Fujita, and Robbie Eagles. Robbie Eagles had the best porn stash in 2025. Like, it is absolutely amazing. And when he debuted at the Super Juniors Tag League, I was like, oh my gosh, what is that? And never get rid of it. And then y'all probably thinking, what is Gedo doing over there with Daiki and Hiromu Takahashi? Well, I'll tell you. For the tag tournament, somehow, someway, he inserted himself in the tournament to be partners with Hiromu Takahashi, which I think was the most random pairing in the whole thing. And I felt like it was weird because it's like, okay, you're not in this little group that they got going on here, but you somehow kind of inserted yourself in this so that people can like you by being with one of the most likable guys in the company. I don't know. The match was all right. Gato's in their team, so we knew he was going to lose anyway. TMDK ended up taking the win. These guys, everybody in here except for Gato, obviously, are amazing wrestlers. Daiki has won me over. He has won me over, and so many people. Like, I freaking love him. I was reading an interview that he did recently, and how excited he is in terms of like when he is like no longer a young lion and he's doing his own thing and what type of character he would be. I think he's absolutely fascinating, and he's won over a lot of the fans. But still, we are having a problem with some of these super junior wrestlers still trying to find their footing in this roster. And I'm still hoping, like I said, I'm not going to tear them up, by next year that we get better in terms of where people lie on this roster. After this, we have Dragon Dia teaming up with Roisuke Taguchi, Kushida, and Yuki Yokosuka. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I keep trying my best with it. Going against El Desperado, Kukai, Tiger Mask, and Yamamoto. This had nothing to do with anything at all. Everybody here are not involved with anything in New Japan right now. Like, so it doesn't really matter. If you're looking to see some familiar faces and some comedy, that's all that this actually was. So nothing really important with this, just a little something. Kushida team ended up taking the win, which I really wasn't surprised about. Now, After this, House of Torture. Mob Deep going against Master Wato, Shota Umino, Toriano, Yo, and Yuya Uemura. House of Torture shenanigans take the win, but this is like everybody here are like a lot of big players within New Japan, and I'm just like, so this is what we're doing with these guys. Like, there's no direction really. Like, even after the G1, we should be seeing bigger and better things with Yuya Uemura for sure. We should also be seeing bigger and better things. Well, you know what, Shota, I'm not gonna say nothing. I don't know anything about that. Now, this should be better things with these guys, and I'm just like, they keep finding themselves somewhere in the middle of the card. And if we're looking in terms of like, who are these guys that are going to be placed higher, Yuya didn't really need to be right here, right here. But since we had a little bit more important things to deal with on this card, I'll take it for now. House of Torture, they end up taking the win, and they're kind of looking unstoppable at this time. Now, after the match though, we did have House of Torture putting the pause on our baby faces. And I do love a proper post-match beatdown. And here are the Young Lions trying to do something to break it up. But then here comes Aaron Wolf. Aaron Wolf is a new signee that they had who was like an Olympic judo martial artist, something like that. And he has been training with the Young Lions, and he's supposed to be having his debut match at Wrestle Kingdom 20. He's already stepped up to Evil already at the previous show at King of Pro Wrestling. And here he was again, stepping up to Evil once again. And I'm just like, you know what? Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's have these two go at it. I would love to see Evil whoop his ass. Now, look, I know what some people are thinking. Like, it's going to be Aaron's debut match, Wrestle Kingdom of all places. Maybe they would not want him to lose. And I would say that I would not want him to win. Like, I don't know what he can do in terms of wrestling. Does he bring that star power in terms of what he's done outside of wrestling? Sure. And I think people are going to be interested in seeing like what he has to offer. But as a wrestling fan, I don't know what to look forward to because I've never actually seen him wrestle. I don't think anybody's ever seen him wrestle. So I'm interested to see where it goes, but not interested in seeing him take that title off of Evil, no matter how tired y'all all are of House of Torture. Now after this, we do have our War Dogs, Clark Connors and them Pants. Oh my God. Teaming up with Oscar, Yuto Ice, and Shingo Takagi. Oh my God, he's so dreamy. To go against United Empire, which is Cullum Newman, Great O'Khan, Jacob Austin Young, and Templario. Templario, I'm not gonna lie, I watched the match twice because Templario in the pants was very distracting. He had like this hunter green get up going with the mask and the pants. I don't know. Sometimes, you know, these guys could just be so dreamy. Whatever, I was distracted. There is no real sense of direction for United Empire. And I'm not gonna lie, I have been wondering past couple of months, like, I guess you could say why they still together. I would like to see them still together. I just feel like they just kind of just there. And I think people who's been watching probably say the same thing too. So I don't know where things are going with the group and with them taking an L. And Cullum Newman, what is it with him looking like he's miserable every single time I see him out in the ring? Like, he was like that the entire G1, and then here he is, you know, at this show, just seeming so miserable before the match, during the match, after the match. And I was like, bro, act like you want to be here. I don't even know if that's part of his character or whatever, but I'm over it. Now, the War Dogs with Shingo is looking really, really good. Even though my eyes was on Templario for most of the part at first, I do think that he was a little bit more the breakout here in this match. I do wish that from time to time they give him a call to come to AEW so people can see how great he is. I know he had a couple of matches over there, but he's awesome. The War Dogs end up taking the win with Shingo. And after the match, they're, you know, kind of getting into a little bit of a scuffle. And Shingo is just standing there like he always do. He just standing there with his arms crossed, like, I'm not getting into it. I'm too old for this shit. I don't got time for none of this shit. And he's just standing there while they get into it. Yuto Ice, I see, is a fan favorite with the crowd. And I'm going to be honest with you. he has not won me over. And I see like some, the American crowd also has been won over by, the Knockout Brothers or whatever. I just feel like, hear me out, especially if you're a person of color. I think he's trying too hard to be something that he's not. I just feel like he's an Asian man trying to be like a Jamaican guy or some shit. Like, I don't know, something about it feels authentic to me. So when everybody's gobbling up all this stupid shit that he does, for me, I'm just like, you're like a caricature of what you want to be in part of a culture that you're not part of. I feel like there is a way to do things in a tasteful way, and then there's a way of completely appropriating the culture, and honestly, I just don't think it's cute at all. Now, down to the last three matches that y'all here for, obviously. We had the Super Junior Tag League Finals, where we had the House of Torture, which is Doki and Sho. They had 10 points in the tournament, so they're having the most points out of all the teams in the tournament. And they're going against the War Dogs, which is Robbie X and Taji Ishimori, with 8 points in Block B. This was a really great matchup. And when I tell you, Taji and Robbie was showing the fuck off, I was like, oh my God, like, how can no one fall in love with these two guys? They were absolutely amazing. And for whatever reason, which kind of don't really surprise me anyway, House of Torture wins. I didn't see that happening. I love Sho. I love Doki. Doki is so cool. But I just kind of felt like, in terms, if we're just talking about the performance of just this match, like, Robbie and Taji fucking killed it. They nailed it completely for me. And when they didn't win, I was pretty bummed out about it. House of Torture, they've had a lot of ups this year, a couple of downs here and there, but they looked absolutely amazing these past few months. Now, I know some of y'all probably not agreeing because y'all hate them, but they've been taking wins when it actually matters the most. And, winning these, this tournament is a big deal for them. And I was kind of surprised that, Robbie and Taji didn't win. They did an excellent job, but maybe next year, we'll see. Now, up next, we had our semi-main event where we had our president, Tanahashi, going against Yota Tsuji for the IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship. I think that nobody thought that President Tanahashi was going to win. I didn't feel like that was going to happen, especially so soon, right after Tsuji just won it a couple of weeks ago. Like, I think it would have been really strange for it to have happened so quickly. But President Tanahashi has given, I feel like, one of his best matches since announcing his retirement. And I feel like people are looking at him like, all right, the knees are cooked. He's an older guy, and he's just like right there about to retire. So what's there he has to offer? And honestly, this was one of the better matches that he's had throughout this retirement tour. And I feel like people shouldn't just completely judge the situation in terms of y'all won't get a great match out of him. Like, he has done amazing up until this point, and tonight I felt like he did so well. But like I said, I don't think anybody thought that the title was going anywhere. Now, he was in his hometown, so he's getting a huge reception from everyone, but they also like Yota Tsuji as well. But the title didn't go anywhere. Yota Tsuji ends up retaining. After the match, President Tanahashi, he pretty much laid up against the ropes, and Yota Tsuji get on the mic, and he said, you know what, bitches, I said I was going to retain. But he also says that, you know what, Tanahashi, I respect you, and I'm not going to be the ace. I'm not going to be anything like you were. I'm going to be surpassing you in everything that you have done in this business. And I was like, oh, shit. Now, some people might have felt some type of way about hearing that, like if somebody said that to you. But Tanahashi is smiling from ear to ear hearing about this, because I think he knows, like, Yota Tsuji is definitely capable of doing that. And Tanahashi gets on the mic and he has his words to say, obviously, for the home crowd. Now, after the match, though, I was kind of surprised to see that we had another challenger stepping up to our president for an upcoming show, I believe in 2 weeks. Yuto Ice comes out, and he is challenging Tanahashi to a match. He said, this will be the first and last time that you and I will ever be in the ring, one-on-one, and I'm going to whoop your ass. And I thought that was so interesting, because I wasn't expecting to see him. I will say this though, President Tanahashi seems to be giving a lot of these young guys and these guys that he may have somewhat of a special eye out on an opportunity to at least be in the ring with him before he hangs it up. So I can commend him on that, but I do feel like Yuto Ice is a little unusual in terms of a challenger for President Tanahashi. Okay, so the match is actually November 8th, so not 2 weeks, so it's coming up next weekend. Now, here is the thing. So you guys know, like, after the matches, they do the post-match interviews backstage. Now, they didn't air on the show as usual, but after the show, they're showing President Tanahashi doing his interview after the show, and then Gato gonna come out of nowhere. And he's going to ask President Tanahashi, do you want me to choose your opponent for Wrestle Kingdom 20? I said, hell to the fuck, nah. We do not want you to choose his opponent. First of all, if somebody's retiring, I understand the company they're going to want there to be the best match that they could possibly have. So having the right opponent is important. Yes. But I feel like it should be up to that person to choose who it is that they want to go against. And honestly, I don't think it's a good idea for anyone other than President Tanahashi to choose who he wants to be in the ring with. So they left it as that, so we don't know what he's going to go with in terms of, is he going to let Gedo choose someone for him? I'm thinking kind of like he will. But whoever that person will be, it has to be the right person. Like, the booking that's been going on lately is, we can single-handedly point fingers at him. But I think Tanahashi should choose who he wants to be that last person to go against at Wrestle Kingdom 20. Main event, we had the challenger, Hiroki Goto, challenging Konosuke Takeshita for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. Y'all saw when he pulled up on Takeshita immediately after he won at King of Pro Wrestling a few weeks ago. And I don't think a lot of people saw that coming so soon. He ended up challenging Takeshita. People was booing Takeshita and all that shit. And I thought that was so, not strange, but like, it's just so different from what we typically see out of Takeshita, with the crowd, you know, booing him and things like that, when he didn't even seem like a baby face at the moment. But whatever. We have Goto, who's obviously the fan favorite, and we have Takeshita, who's our champion. You know, as great as Takeshita is in the ring, I feel like the crowd could not deny that. So they're oohing and eyeing about Takeshita, but they're obviously favoring Goto in this situation. Remember, Goto had the championship earlier this year. He had won it from Zack, and now that we know what we know, he went to go film Mortal Kombat and ended up dropping the title to Zack Sabre Jr. During the summer, I think back in June. And he's been gone ever since. He had like a multi-man match a couple of weeks ago, whatever, just to get everybody happy about seeing him again. But here he is in his first one-on-one match since returning against Takeshita. This was amazing, an amazing matchup. And I felt like if the crowd's not won over by Takeshita with this, like, I don't know what they smoking. Like, it's insane. Like, he's amazing in the ring. And honestly, while I didn't think the title would go anywhere, which it didn't, I felt like this was a great opponent for Goto to go against coming back, especially as a former IWGP World Champion. And people just be like, all right, well, we can see why you held this title at some point, but you weren't getting it today. Match of the night for sure. Takeshita looks like a freaking star. Goto looks like a star. Honestly, I can't tell you if and when he's going to get that title again. I'm kind of, my thoughts on it is like, probably not. I don't know. But we'll see. Takeshita ends up retaining with a Raging Fire, which I feel like we haven't seen him take a win with that in quite some time. He looked amazing. After the match, Takeshita obviously has to choose his opponent for Wrestle Kingdom for the main event. And basically was just like, well, whoever it is I want to step up, come step the motherfucker up. And then Yota Tsuji, who is off fine as fuck with this suit on, coming out with the global championship on his shoulder, walking all smoothly to the ring. And I was like, baby, I know you're not coming out here. Like, I was really surprised about it. He comes on out there and he challenges Takeshita. Not only does he challenge Takeshita, but they also agreed that it's both titles on the line. So whoever wins end up leaving with both titles, which is fucking huge. I was like, holy shit, this would be amazing. Ooh, what do I want? Takesha, I love you, but Yota Tsuji though, if he won both titles that night, this would be so fucking huge for him. I don't know, but real quick, Takeshita, you guys know Takeshita got that thing going on with what was it, Okada. People are saying, hey, they should have a match at World's End. Honestly, I don't think that we should do that, because you guys know Continental Classic's coming up, and Continental Classic is in the month of December, and then the finals is on the World's End pay-per-view, which is days before Wrestle Kingdom. This can be an issue in terms of Takeshita. Takeshita was going to be in that tournament, hopefully no injuries and anything, so that he can be ready for his match up against Yota Tsuji. Well, if it happens, it looks like that's what's happening anyway. At the pay-per-view in January. So honestly, I don't know where they're going, because things are heating up with Okada, and then things are heating up with Yota Tsuji. All I want is for our boy to be safe and sound for all these matches, all these programs that's going on. And I can't wait to see where it's going. I just hope that we see more Takeshita within New Japan these next couple of months before Wrestle Kingdom, because I know it's difficult to be having all these contracts with several promotions, but we need him there too. It's so important that whoever it is that's holding your title, your biggest title, to be as present as possible. And I'm not even saying like on a match by match basis, but to be present in storylines and just show his face. And we're not seeing that with several champions. I'm not going to get into it, but we would love to see more of Takeshita within New Japan. So we'll see what happens in the next upcoming months. You guys, thanks so much for watching my review. I am not going to be so hard on New Japan until after Wrestle Kingdom 20, because that's when I'm expecting, or at least hoping, for there to be bigger changes so people can fall in love with New Japan like I do. So we'll see what ends up happening with that. I'll see you guys on the next review. Bye.